Hey guys, welcome to the live. Hope you're good. Thank you very much everyone for watching that. I think actually I might have to wait for a second until this goes live on the YouTube because I'm looking at the YouTube account right now and it's not gone live. So hopefully in about 1 minute we'll be live on YouTube because it's definitely not loaded it yet. There we go. Hey guys, hope you're good. Okay, I need to mute that because that was playing through there. Can you guys hear me on here? Because I am now using this headset, which I don't know if it's particularly a good thing to do. You'll probably tell me like, oh, can you please turn that off? Because I thought, you know what, if we end up clicking on something and watching something, then it might be quite fun so I can hear it. Because if I start playing over the actual computer, then it like reverbs, etc. So I thought I'd start off with this, but if you don't like it, let me know. Josh, mate, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching that last video as well. Prime, great to see you, mate. Omega's here. Team Shadow, you're here as well, mate. I think everyone's got you to thank for this live going on. So big shout out to Team Shadow. Who else do we have? Jason, mate, great to see you. And Brian. Hopefully more people join this. So if you guys want to spread the word, text all your friends, message everyone, let me know, and just kind of get it going. Anyway, look who we've got here in the back. George, you want to say hi? No, there's like a little growl from him there. He gets really annoyed. Guys, let me know if you have any questions, because what I'm going to do on this live is I'm just going to try and kind of get as much. Let's see if I can get the comments up here. Yeah, I can. Let me know what your guys' questions are, because I will try and get to them as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to work out the kind of like the comment situation here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay. Jason, yeah, Chris, good to see you, mate, as well. El Gato, Banco, Airsoft, Yo-Yo, you, Duke, yeah, George says hi. Shall I bring him in a bit closer so you guys can see him? You want to come here? You know what I can do? Oh, I didn't touch that, YouTube. How about that? How's that for you boys? You like that? You can actually ask him questions now. Hi, George. He's probably, someone's going to come in the door soon and he's just going to freak out and try and run off. But this is George. If you guys haven't been with the channel for a long time, then you may not recognize him. But when I first started the channel, George was probably the biggest part of the channel that actually grew it the most. People were like, oh, I love seeing your dog when you do your unboxings. So he became basically every single video we had. George was in it. So yeah, so that's George's little backstory. He's a Pomeranian. He's 10 years old now. He's a bit of an old man. He's also been hit by a car, bitten by a rattlesnake. He's had both of his hips removed and he now has diabetes. So I have to inject him with a needle twice a day. So if you want to talk about someone who looks after their animal, this guy right here. Hi, George. Crazy. Yes, I do have one. In fact, Omega, do you have a Pomeranian? Is that what we're talking about? If you have a Pomeranian, welcome to the Pomeranian Club. Yes, so that is the infamous George, as you can probably tell. In fact, I have one of the patches out. Where is one of the patches? Here we go. So if you guys have won one of the member giveaways, you may recognize this, or if you've been with the channel for a while. But this is the George patch. They're very rare because I only had them made in one batch, so we've only got a few of these left. But as you can see, it's like an identical resemblance here. George? He is so funny. He just doesn't want to show me any attention. Yeah. My kid found this the other day, like my 18-month-old. He grabbed it and just goes, "Oh, Georgie," because he basically has no words. He basically just says Georgie, and then he went like this to it. I was like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, he doesn't really get scared, Omega. He just kind of gets annoyed, because he's 10 now. He's just a bit of a grumpy old man sometimes. If he doesn't get what he wants, look at this now. He's trying to show me his. Like, show me your backside. Come and say hi to everyone. Like, if you take food away from him, it is literally like you're gonna lose your fingers. Yeah, Georgia's seen some action. Where do you shop overseas for your models, and has tariffs changed the way you buy? Yeah, so I would say mainly. Great question, Jared. Mainly, I would say I buy from Hong Kong. That's going to be the big one. Occasionally from the UK, I'll go to companies like Bavtac, who actually might be sending me some stuff. Actually, I just thought about that. I need to email them. Bavtac. I've also buy from AirTac in the UK, but one of the big ones is JK Army. I buy a lot of stuff from them. Octagon Airsoft. I buy a lot of stuff from them. I think those are probably the two biggest foreign retailers, and both are based in Hong Kong. Occasionally 6mm.com. Taiwan Gun is another one that I'll buy from. But I have to say, tariffs at the moment have affected my purchasing, not because I won't buy there, but I do think at the moment we're in a bit of like an unknown like middle zone, and I don't think the tariffs are going to stay where they are. So instead of ordering something now if I don't need it, I have decided just to hold off, because it was like 145% is kind of like what I pay on top of like what I'm going to pay now. So when you're buying a $500 airsoft replica and then like a $250 shipping fee, paying, like $1,100, $1,200 for that, and then the shipping fee on top, it's just not worthwhile. So I'm holding off. I would spend that just to get the things that I needed, because I can't get them in the US. But for right now, I think that's probably where I'm going to be. Going for X. Yes, it is live. I'm actually in LA right now, so I'm not in the UK, which is why it's light outside me. Who did you ask? Omega said, how old is your dog? So my dog is 10 years old. So he may not look 10, does he? He's kind of like, he's very fluffy kind of people. I've had people come up to me before and they're like, hey, is that your puppy? Can I touch your puppy? And I'm like, you can touch him, but if you just like run at him and grab and try and like stroke him too much, he's just gonna like get annoyed and walk off. So that's the age of George. Now, this is getting quite tough, guys, because I can't actually read the questions fast enough to get to the actual answers. So if you don't get me answer your question, please do put it up. Don't spam it, but do put it up and I'll try and get to it. George is awesome. Yeah, Jason, I agree with that 100%. Can you get the KWA AKG KCR? You've asked me that already, Omega, I think. I will probably get that. I actually I had the KWA MP9 that was just there, which I accidentally touched. Don't tell YouTube. Because unfortunately, I would love to be able to get out all of my Airsoft replicas and show you guys everything that I have. But as soon as I touch anything, YouTube decide to shut the stream down. So it's okay if I film with it, but apparently if you stream with it, then it's not allowed. So I'm going to try and stop doing that. 6mm was my main go-to for accessories and parts before the tariffs. Yeah, 6mm good. They've got a lot of good stuff. I bought my Toxicant XM5 from them, but I've had bad experiences. I have to say, customer service out there is pretty awful. They just do it through a WhatsApp group or a WhatsApp message, and they don't get back to you for 2 days. And then they sent me the wrong replica, and that replica, I then was like, you've sent me the wrong one, and it took a bit of time for them to like be like, oh, okay. And then I just left it at the end of the day. I was emailing with Toxicant. They're actually going to send me, I think, the handrail for the Mark 18. So I'm going to do a video where I exchange the 9-inch handrail on the XM5 to the Mark 18 shorter rail. So that's to come as well. But yeah, I mean, apparently, yeah. So apparently also Prime Tech with 6mm, what they've done is try to do a very clever way of getting around the tariffs, which is to send their products to the US via the UK. So they'll ship them to the UK, where I think is where their boss lives, and then they've decided to then take that and then ship them across to the US from there. I think that is quite stupid. I think if they were doing it, they should not write it on their website, on their webpage, which is what they have done, because US customs are going to see it eventually. And I know that they've put tariffs on other countries that are a very high level because of the fact that these other countries like Vietnam, Cambodia have been basically, China have been sending exports there and then sending them from there through to the US. They'll like change the made in names on them. I've seen videos of it. And so they're going to get caught, and then they're going to like lose their license to sell into the US. All of their stuff's going to get seized. So I don't think it's clever, but they've tried to do it that way. And also there was a UK deal struck yesterday with the US. So I think they need to be very, very careful there. Yeah, that's George. I've recently binged your mystery box videos and enjoyed them. Can I ask why you've slowed down on the mystery boxes? Yes, Duke. So mystery boxes were great. And to be honest, the weird thing with mystery boxes is a lot of people love watching them. And I think it's not necessarily fully the airsoft side. I think it's more like you want to see what someone's unboxing. It's like the mystery of the mystery box. You have like massive YouTube channels that just buy like Amazon like refund boxes, and they open it up and you don't know what you're going to get, and it's the all exciting, like it's a lottery kind of thing. um they still do give you good value. Like you spend $200 on an Evite box of awesomeness mystery box, and you may get up to like $1,000 of value, or like at least 200. But I have to say, since I've been playing more and more recently, I, as you can probably tell with this channel, spend an insane amount of money on airsoft, and I very much have honed my kit. So when I do my loadout videos, like I'm only going to use this plate carrier and I'm not going to use something worse. I'm only going to use this chest rig. I'm not going to use something worse. I don't play with AEGs anymore. I just play with gasket blowbacks. So when I do a mystery box, it's not just that it's a waste of money, because like, I could give it away to you guys in member raffles, but it's more like there's no excitement there. It's like, okay, 90% of this stuff's going to, or like 50 of these 150 boxes are going to be like AEGs that I don't even want. Then it becomes a bit like, well, what's the point in actually doing that? So for me at the moment, and I may go back to it, it's just more like I don't want the stuff in the mystery box, if you see what I mean. I've got a load of videos there, which it sounds like you've been binge watching, so I'm glad that you've watched through them. And if there are, I've actually reached out to retailers in the past and had them build me a mystery box, so I might end up doing that. Reach out and say, look, I just want gas blowbacks. These are the kind of things I like. Please just, here's a budget. Please just send me stuff. Probably after the tariffs have gone, because that would be a foreign, probably a China or Hong Kong based retailer. But that's something that's the reason. Sorry. Do you buy BBs in bulk, Elgato? No, I don't, mate. I actually had a friend who used to run a website in the UK called 6mmammo.co.uk. Unfortunately shut down, but he would buy bulk ammo. What I normally do is I'll just like do a top up. If I go to Evike, I'll buy like a load. If I go to play in a certain field and they're selling them there, I'll buy a load. The kind of BBs that I use does vary quite a lot. It used to be I'd only use .32s for everything. Now if I'm playing indoor in the evening, they only allow up to .25s, and I want tracer BBs. So I'll get the .25 tracer BBs. I'll get regular .2s for my grenades and my like 40mm shells, because like I kind of want those. I will get the 3.2s for my regular outdoor play in just regular, like I don't need those in tracer. And then I have started playing around with some like 4s, which will be more for my gas blowback, like heavier powered stuff. But I have found actually that depending on the gas blowback, a 4 actually is great. You're obviously going to lose some FPS, but like the 4 actually flies better on some of these replicas than the 3.2s do. So no, I don't, but I'd love to get actually a company to sponsor me and just do that. In fact, Lancer Tactical are going to send me 2 new replicas, which I'll talk about in a bit. But they're going to send me 2 new replicas, and they've said they'll send a load of Lancer Tactical BBs, a tracer, some gas. And I think they do really good BBs, so I'm quite excited for that. But no, I don't. So if you know of someone who wants to sponsor the channel and do that, let me know. Would it help to add a queue in front of questions? Yes. Prime Tech, sorry mate, sorry it's taken me a while to get to that. Yes, it would be great if you could do that. Then I don't have to read through what everything says. DJ, good to see you, mate. Thank you for turning up. As I've said before, like I am your number one priority. I'm your princess. You have to be here, otherwise you make me very upset. I cry all night, so don't feel any pressure, but if you're not here, I'm getting very, very upset. Massey, I think you need to add the SIG P226 Mark 25 to your collection. Love mine. Yeah, P226 I would really like. I have to say, my current experience with the P320 has not been amazing. It's been really off and on, like good and bad, and I know a lot of people have had very bad experiences with it. I'd love to get it out and show you it now, but I can't. You know what I should do is get some like grabbers or robotic arms, and I could just pull the stuff out, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I would like to try that. My problem right now is I need to slow down buying new replicas and producing content on the ones that I have, because we're human beings. It's like, oh, I want the new shiny thing, and then I want to play around with it, and then I actually end up not using it to the same amount that I thought I would, and it just sits in my cupboard. George, you want to come back and say hi? There you go. He's going to turn around that way again just because he doesn't want me to like actually enjoy what I'm doing. You can always check out the Team Shadow mystery boxes. Team Shadow, if you want to build me a gas blowback mystery box, then definitely let me know. Yeah, TSA are definitely going to stop that. Self add insert lol. Oh, from Team Shadow, yeah, for sure. What is the most accurate gas blowback rifle distance wise? What upgrades did you do, Daniel? That's a very good question as well. You know what? I actually think maybe like the TMAK, like the AKM is incredibly accurate. More, I wouldn't say accurate because I'll use iron sights with that, but like consistency and range is pretty amazing. My Mark 18 that I've done, my TM one, I've done a lot of work to that, and it's pretty awesome. I'll actually run that outside with an HPA adapter because it's HPA, like it's very consistent. I've got like a 6.03 millimeter barrel in that. I think that's a maple leaf. That's a maple leaf, yeah. And then I've got a unicorn bucking in there. I'd say the unicorn bucking, sorry, the flamingo buckings are very, very good. I know Jaeger Precision loves his, and that's who put me onto them. And I would say they're probably the best bucking. So if you're going to change out a bucking and you want like power and range and consistency in a gas blowback, the Flamingo 60A or the 50A, they do a black one now as well, so check that out. In a barrel, yeah, the Laylax Prometheus ones are really good. The Maple Leaf ones are really good, and I would not go with a 6.01. I'd go with like a 6.03 around that kind of size. I think people used to think 6.01, it's tighter, it's better. Seems like that doesn't actually play. 6.03 is kind of that Goldilocks zone as far as I've seen. But I've got my MTR 16, which is the longer barrel MWS. Haven't really played with that. The KCO 2 I've been playing with. That's been really fun. But yeah, gas blowback wise, I'd probably say my AKM or the AKX now because I've got that as version, which is the same kind of system. What else have we got? Flat hop or R hop? Good question, mate. I will probably use an R hop more than I will a flat hop, but I don't really have a opinion on that either way. It's kind of like what I'm putting in, which at the moment is just a unicorn bucking. So I'd kind of go with brand more than kind of design on that. Or a swap box. I would love to do that with you 6mm. Yes, we can, mate. If you want to get a very, very expensive gas blowback replica, we could do something like that. I have done actually a mystery box before with Hefe Airsoft. So I did that, and he did like a ton of different like Glocks in that. Didn't go great, to be honest. It was when the channel was quite a bit smaller, but I haven't had great experiences with that. I took a peek at my noties and seen your name. I dropped everything and came right away. Yes, DJ, because I am your priority. Baby nephew, go thump thump donk wah. I don't know what that means. Jason, I really want to get a Gap Vespa rifle. They're so fun to use. My son bought a Scar H GBBR. So he got the VFC one, I presume. I've been really tempted by that. I just don't really like the look of the Scars. Like I have a Scar NGRS, the next generation recoil shock, but I just don't. It's the stock. Like it's a weird. You all right there, mate? It's a weird like stock to me. It's just not that attractive. I just pick an AR platform. You right? Don't come and sit on the keyboard. You can sit there if you want. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of those. Oh yes, Prime Tech with the Qs. I love it. As someone who has a good amount of gas blowback rifles, do you go for a balance in realism and performance, or either? I would say a balance, 100%. I want something that looks realistic, and kind of like has realistic features, which is why I buy a lot of real steel sights. Performance wise, like there's certain replicas that I won't change the internals of, and it's like I have to say, like if I'm playing a game, I don't want something that looks cool but doesn't work. So I will nearly always change a inner barrel, a hop up bucking. Sometimes if it's an MWS, etc., I'm changing out bolts. I will always test fire them before I go and play. So if that's in the garden, I'll just be like shooting at the tent or whatever it is, and just honing in the sight. But I do not want something with like a bright orange weird like paint design on it. So I'll always have like more your milsim. But for me, yeah, it's 100% a balance. Like there are definitely guns which I have which perform better than others, and I won't always go for the best performing. I will definitely turn around and be like, right, I'll do. I want to play with something a bit different. I want like a CQB gun, like that MP9, which is you can see the magazine sticking out here. I really want to play with it. I don't think it's going to be as good as some of my other replicas, but I really want to play with it. So I'm going to use that, and I will upgrade the internals, but it will be a barrel and it will be a hop up bucking probably, and that's it. And then I'll run regular mags. So hopefully that answers that. Another question, Josh, how much do you spend on average on replica of any type in order to get it to where you would play with it consistently, internals, externals? I wouldn't say I have a budget. Like, it's kind of is what it is. I would say probably what I'm spending generally is, like maybe $12 on a hop up bucking, $40 on a barrel. So what you're there, like 55. Because it's not AEGs, like the internals other than that aren't that expensive. So internals, that's there. Externals for me is the big cost. So that's normally, if it's a standard one, it's going to be a Somo Gear PEC unit. That's like $250. It's going to be a real steel sight. That's probably like $400 to $700. You're going to have a lens protector for the sight. That's going to be another $20, $30. A foregrip on it. That's probably $30. Mag pull, QD release points. What's going on? That's going to be like $20, $30. So that's going to be the big spend for me. But I could probably spend, say I spend like $600 on a replica. I'm going to have to buy mags for those unless it's like an MWS I already have mags for. Mags, that's probably going to be at least another 6 or 7. So you're looking at another $300 there. So 700 plus 300, that's 1,000. Then I'm probably spending like another 1,000 on just extra stuff. But that's if I'm doing it properly. Like there's a couple of others, like the MP9, for instance, the one here. I don't think I'm going to do it to the same level. I'm probably going to do it more to I've got that fake EOTech on it that I got from Spec Precision. I've just been testing that on there. I'm actually going to 3D print a suppressor for it, so that's going to be very cheap. I'm going to do a paint job on it, and then I've been thinking about getting a decal unit just to put on the front of it. Other than that, it's going to be like that. I probably won't play around with the internals just because it's a very small CQB gun. But yeah, so that hopefully that gives you a thing. Consistency, I would say, like I play around with it, I'll tweak it and I'll change it. Maybe I'll change out the hop nub. Generally a barrel, if I've put a barrel in there, I'll leave it, but hop nub I will, and the hop rubber I will. So once the internals are done, it's done, or maybe I'll go back to stock if it for some reason you've tweaked it and it's gone wrong. Do you have replicas made from a real steel company? Replicas made from a real steel company? No, I do have real steel parts. Like I've got a lot of different real steel parts I'll run on replicas, but actual companies that make them, no, I don't think there are many like real steel companies that also make their replicas. A lot that will do licenses. I might be wrong, so let me know on that. Especially when some of the prizes are repetitive. Yeah, that's kind of the same. And when I look at the mystery boxes, usually just saying that on the mystery boxes, I will see like how many of the same item. I have checked the actual box of awesomeness from Evite recently and been like, hey, if they do a gas blowback only one, maybe I'll do that. But a lot of the time I'll read it and it tells you how many boxes out of the 150. And if it's like 60 boxes of like obviously an AEG that they haven't been able to sell or get rid of, then it really just annoys me. Larta Tactical is sending me their new PPK 2000 kind of model. And that is going to be, what is it? I forgot what it is. It hasn't been released yet, but they've got a AEG version and a gas blowback version. So they're sending me both. So those will be members giveaways. Unless I love the gas blowback, then I'll keep that. But I'll be able to do like a comparison of both. That's kind of like a cool thing for me to unbox and to review. Having like some product from Evite that just hasn't sold is kind of just really annoying. But I also had a message this morning from one of the guys that works at Evite. He noticed me or came up to me and said hi in the Evite store. And I think I'll get it often at sites when I'm playing. People are like, hey, you 6mm Badger, like I really like your channel. Actually in stores from people that work in Airsoft, like Evite, that was pretty cool to have someone actually walk up to me in the store and be like, hey, do you have a YouTube channel? I watch you, I subscribe. I thought that was pretty awesome. Yes, DJ, he's here for you, George. He's not here for me. He just, he loves you so much that he decided he heard you were coming, and he said I'll be there. Um, do a shot with Shadow Dragon. Okay, Josh, if you're suggesting it, mate, then I'll do it. Do. Yeah, I know he's pretty cute. He's definitely, he doesn't want to look at you guys, but he's definitely. I've had like little girls like run up to me like, "Hey, if you don't want your dog anymore, could I have your dog?" And I'm like, "He's a 10-year-old like kind of grumpy dog. I don't know if you want him that much." What's the greenish color of your walls called? That is very, very good question. So this is my office. My wife did everything. If I design an office, I'll put airsoft guns all over the wall. However, what I do realize is she has a lot better taste than I do. And so when we redid our house, I said, look, I don't really care. Show me what you're doing, but do it. So I'd say it's like a minty green, maybe like a darker mint green. That's like a kind of textured wallpaper. I can't show you there really. I'll show you in another video, but that's like stone floor. That's a wallpaper. Um, so yeah, message me. I'll try and find the name of it. Team Shadow, so I may hit you up again. Okay, you guys are chatting to each other. Gas blowback inner barrels are made. Our hop makes the most sense. AEGs can vary. Yeah, that's a good point, Prime Tech, because of the different size of the hop window. Question: favorite hop up bucking nub in a barrel setup, Josh? So I think that is going to be the Flamingo hop up. I think it's the Prometheus barrel and the nub. I've used some of the Jaeger Precision nubs recently, and they seem to be really good. Nubs I find a bit more hit or miss. Like they're so similar, a lot of them, that I'll kind of probably normally go to Reddit and I'll find out what people are running in that specific replica, because the actual hop up chambers can vary so much, and one that's going to work great in an MWS style hop unit is not going to work great in another one. So nubs are a little bit more different for me. What replica do you want to see hit the market that is currently not available? Oh, that's a good question. That is a really good question. I would like to see more companies do the XM5. I've heard APFG might be doing the XM5 or XM7. I really would like to see that done properly. Done in a cheaper way. And I love my Spear LT from APFG and my MPXK. So if they build one with that standard at the price points they normally at, I would go for that for sure. Other things, I'm trying to think what recently has been like a firearm release that I'm like, I really want to get that. Let me think about it. I'll come back to it. Planning to get ENG Pit Viper with the full auto version. Is it good? Kathy, Cody, Jeff, I have not seen the full auto Pit Viper. I've never played around with it. I've got a Sand Viper, which is the Jag Arms one, not the EMG one. I do think that the Jag Arms one is better than the EMG one. So if you go for a Sand Viper, then I think that's apparently a lot more close to the real steel. So I would go along that route. But I haven't had the full auto. I actually had the video come out, I think yesterday, on the Salient Arms full auto from EMG. So I expect the build quality, like the general, it's probably going to be exactly the same platform, to be honest, because that's a 4.3 2011 instead of being like a full size Pit Viper, Sand Viper. Pit Viper. So I would go on that. And I have to say, I haven't actually played with it, but I was very impressed with the rate of fire, the build. You can watch that video, but like I definitely liked it. P226 doesn't seem to suffer with the gas efficiency like the P320 over here in the UK. I've always stuck with my MWS, but VFC are awesome at the moment. Love the FN LAR. Yeah, I am a big fan of VFC gas blowbacks. I didn't think I would be. Bit of a not a bit of a convert from Tokyo Marui, because everything Tokyo Marui do is gold, but I'm definitely like, I love that Spear LT and I love that MPXK, and they're both APFG but VFC. And I've also got an M249, which the Para version, which I haven't done a video on yet, but again, that's VFC, and that's going to be coming very soon. My friend actually borrowed it, but that will be good. Omega Airsoft, what is it with you, DJ and 6mm Badger? That's between us, mate. Just leave it alone, mate. Leave it alone. Yeah, DJ's been with me for a very, very long time. 20 subs. Has it been that long, DJ? That is pretty incredible. So mate, if we break 10,000, which I'm hoping we do very soon, then you know that you're the man for that. Okay, given how much you put into your XM5, would you like to see more battle rifle style 308 762 gas blowbacks? Yes, I would, but I don't think there's anything where specifically where I'm like, I really want to see that. You know, what I've been very tempted to get is one of like the SR25, like 308 cartridge kind of style ones. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'll start that build, I'll build it out. You know, do I want to spend a ton more money doing it, and then how much am I going to use it? The XM5, I feel like I'm one of those people. I like having something rare and something that other people don't have. You know, it's weird again. It's like that in every aspect of my life where if someone else has got it, I don't really care about it. If I'm the only one that's got it, that's what makes it special for me. So right now I want the the Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS, like the new one, because no one's got it. I want it. So if it's I do think it's cooler, and I do like having a different mag style, but like the XM5 is a completely different mag. You know, it's like a 6.8. Like the mag is so different from anything else, so it's so cool in that way. If it's a regular like 7.62 308 mag, it's exciting, but it's not. You know, I haven't got a Scar H, so I'm not really going down that route as much. Yeah, Josh Landers, you've been here a long time too, mate. Uh, so Omega, what is your next question? Would you go to a 2-day milsim? And if you can, you please record it. So I want to see a milsim. I have actually done that, mate. So there is a video on the channel, probably from about 2 years ago. If you go and have a look, it is me playing at Milsim West, Hill 556, and that was a 2.5-day milsim. I had a great time. So I have a health thing where I had a brain tumor, and I actually had like 3 seizures. Like I was having seizures at the time. I had 3 seizures during that event, which wasn't great. So I got a lot of footage. I mean, like for me, a seizure is like last 10 minutes, and then I'm done. Like I'm not losing consciousness, or wasn't at that time. So, um, there isn't a huge amount of great content. It was also played in an environment where it's very open. It's like on open hillside. And I just think Airsoft isn't really that fitting to it. You don't have the range for that. So I like a lot more close quarter stuff. I have also gone and played Victorville quite a few times, probably 3 or 4 times now. I played a Jet Desert Fox Airsoft 2-day event there. And there is some footage from that as well. So you have to dig a bit further back. I am going to try and do some more gameplay. I don't know what you guys thought of the gameplay that I did last week, where I did it like commentary style. Like I sat there and actually just talked through the gameplay. For me, that was a lot more fun to do because all I had to do was like basically finish the day. I had my 360 camera. I could create the files. I could then just put them in, literally stream them, like put them one after another, and then I could just play them to you guys and talk through what was happening. I hate sitting in front of a computer for more than about 2 hours. Like I can't physically do it, and I just get bored and I walk up and I walk away if it's something I'm not interested in doing. And editing gameplay for me is just not that fun. So I will do more of that gameplay style. But if you guys are happy, I'd like to just kind of play through the actual gameplay and talk through it as opposed to doing like high level editing. So yes, I will do some 2-day events, but probably might be kind of something similar like that. Shadow Ghost, welcome, mate. Good to see you. G3s are awesome, Doug. That is a good point. G3s are awesome, and I have very much thoughts about getting one. Again, it's been a bit like, do I want to put an additional rail on it? How do I want to do it up? How would I do that build? And that's kind of held me back, I think, from those. The other thing is what I think about a lot when I look at a replica to build is actually the grip. And what I love with the AR M4 base and the Spear base, or sorry, the MCX base, is that you can replace the grips. And so I can stick another grip on it. There's quite a few of those platforms like the G3 where the grip is built into the lower. So it's like I can't really change it if I do want it. The fire selector's weird. So that's where I've kind of stuck is I got a bit bored with M4 ARs, so I shifted a bit into the MCX space. And I have to say, like that MP9, like I didn't think I'd like it. I've been messing around with that all day. So that's another one. But yeah, it's like I'd like to do a G3. It's just, do I do it now? I feel like also I burn through stuff. It's like if I go and I get every single replica and I build it out, I'm not going to have any content to do for you guys. So I probably need to space it and stage it because they don't release replicas that quickly that I could do that. Um, yeah, I'd love to own SR25. Yeah, I definitely am very, very tempted by that. Um, I've seen a few videos of some printing replicas used by the MIs. I've got a 3D printer. In fact, look at this, guys. I'm going to show you this right now, and hopefully you guys like this. But look at this. Right now on my screen, I am currently printing this, which is a pair of shoes. So you can see my printer's like going, it's doing its thing, it's actually printing these shoes. So I actually printed a few things. Like I printed this actually just as a test, which is just an M-lock piece. So I printed that. I've printed an actual rail for my SBS. If you saw, I did that video last week just about that. And so I'm starting to print. The idea of printing a full upper in resin or in like, you know, filament and having it so light, I don't really like the idea of that. I'm happy to have a polymer rail. I'm happy to have polymer attachments, a suppressor, that kind of style. But a full upper or a full body and having it weigh nothing. I think it's because I'm playing with gas blowbacks. You know what I mean? I want something that's going to be more realism. I don't mind carrying something with some weight, even though it's going to maybe affect the performance of instead of having something super, super lightweight. So that's my thoughts on that. So I don't think I'll print uppers, but I will definitely print other parts as well. What is your take on the 360 camera for gameplay capture? So I've got it right here, mate. So this is the one that I was using, the Insta360 X5. If you guys want to sponsor me again and send me free cameras and free stuff, let me know. But I have to say, like, I had it mounted here on this going sideways. So it was mounted there and it was pretty great. I thought actually that I would be able to get more of a view looking over my shoulders. And obviously from that location, it is quite tough to do it. And it's kind of like, I don't necessarily like the view looking down onto my face. I think it looks weird. You know, it's like not in proportion. It's like, you know, me being vain and saying, I think I look ugly now. But in terms of like being able to go back and capture stuff, like my friend Brandon, when I was like capturing that stuff of him clearing rooms, walking through stuff, he was like, this is awesome because I can go back through it and like analyze what I'm doing. Like I can say, hey, my footwork's wrong. I walked into that thing wrong. And if you're doing it with like a 2D straight camera, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like you've got that like thing and whatever you're looking at, and hopefully like it's not going to capture your entire view, it's just going to capture that vertical or that horizontal space, and if it's out of frame then you're not capturing it. Whereas with this, I literally said to him, like, just walk in front of me and do something funny or like do something cool, like clear these rooms through. And so it was almost like I had a camera on a gimbal that I could follow him around with, but I didn't need to worry where it was looking, what was going on. And now the light capture in that is so good. The annoying thing I think for some is like, how do you mount it? That mount's really good. I have, however, thought about, can I protrude it? And again, I went into the video about how dumb it is looking like a unicorn with that sticking out of your head. But how can I protrude it more and kind of like look around, see behind me? Because before, when I've had it mounted on something, I could look back and forward. And when I mounted it on the replica, when it's mounted right here, it's like a 180 basically. I can look down at me reloading and I can look 180. I can't look back into my helmet. And so I have thought maybe there's a different way of doing it. But Team Shadow, that's kind of where I'm on that. Are you considering to record your vids in a studio or a gun room instead of an office? No offense. I don't have a studio or a gun room. I've got a garage that's behind me. At the moment, it's filled just with a load of crap. Like my wife, we redid our house and there's just a lot of like excess furniture and stuff that's in there. I actually have 3 of the smart targets. So I'm trying to set up a place where I have 3 of those smart targets linked. And so I can do gun test and reviews for you guys, but lighting's a bit of an issue. I think that will happen. It's just how long. So I will do the reviews on that. I right now have a camera that will follow me around so I can get up and like walk around here. So I've done that for some of like the loadout videos and I do quite like that, but this definitely isn't forever. What I like, because I don't like editing, it's very easy, or I like it a lot more where I can just like hit record or do this and just chat to you guys and answer questions or just talk through a topic and then hit stop, hit upload and go. I don't like having to be like, okay, right, I'm going to spend 2 days editing this thing and then I'm going to upload it and then no one watches it or then YouTube demonetizes it. I'd rather have it like a community chat. So when I'm working here and I'm doing my day job where I sell houses, like I can literally just be like, right, oh, that's an interesting idea for a video, bang, record, let's go. I've also got this, which again I think is great. Like I can basically go main camera R50, which is that like DSLR camera, which I've got over there. I can share my screen. I can overlay my screen. I can do like a desk view, all of those little things, like show a video, and that's just on one button. So a lot of me is like, how do I streamline this just to make it as easy as possible? And I will actually do a video. I'm going to do a video on just like what I use to record and to do stuff. So if that's of interest, and you want to see it soon, let me know. But I'll go through like what cameras I'm using, what the setup is, like how I record, how I do all of this stuff, and just see if that's interesting for you guys, because I think that was quite a lot of learning for me to be doing it. Um, I'd like to see your reaction to T-Rex arms. Can Airsoft translate to real firearms video? Yeah, Doug, I'll do that for sure. I mean, I did the Royal Marines like red video that I thought was really cool. T-Rex arms, like I actually have got a couple of T-Rex arms holsters. I think weirdly, like I think people have come around to it a bit that Airsoft can be used really well in training. But I'm actually very surprised still that it's not like more adapted, more not become adapted more into those environments. Like I've got my cousin actually sells like a laser equipment to military forces like around the world. He has a company that goes and it's like a laser target system, and I'm like, that's all great and it works really well. Do you want to get down, George? You want to come here? Okay, so I think he wants to get down. I'm just gonna let him jump down. I'm gonna put you in here. Uh, There you go, bud. So yeah, so the laser target system, I'm like, okay, well that's great. Like, but however, like Airsoft is a lot better than that. Like I can, yes, it's not going to give me the same recoil or the same noise, but it really is going to know exactly where I'm pushing, where I'm aiming. It's going to know what I'm hitting. Um, and so I think like tactically, when I play with the guys I'm playing with, we will look at real steel, like how real forces do stuff in terms of like entering rooms, clearing corners, that kind of stuff, looking at footwork. Like my friend Brandon was like, okay, my footwork's awful in this. I really need to play around with that or make it better. You right, mate? Um, so yes, I think a lot of that stuff. So I'll do a T-Rex arms video and then I'll, yeah, 100% I'll talk through like, oh, how is this, like comparable to Airsoft? Sorry, went to get milk and tire plugs in the store in your back. DJ, I am your priority. Please don't think that milk is got more than me. Speaking of priority, George wants to leave. I'll be back in 1 second. George, come on. It's so funny. It gets to a certain time of day, and he knows that my kids are going to be eating soon, and so he will literally just come back here and try and eat food, or he'll just hang around the kitchen and wait for like food to be dropped on the floor. I have a VFC HK416D Gen 3 gas bowback. So far, the only upgrades I've installed are the CL Project NPAS. Yeah, and NPAS is great to put in there. Aside from that, what are the best internal upgrades I should consider? Inner barrel, hop-up bucking, Prometheus inner barrel, Flamingo hop-up bucking. I know those can be a bit funny with magazines, I think, where they don't take all the VFC style magazines. So you may just want to make sure you've got the right magazines for it. Other than that, sounds like a very, very cool replica. Bet you missed the great weather in the UK. Darren, I do not miss the great weather in the UK. In fact, I just did 2 commentaries right now on UK. I did 2 probably of the most famous UK content creators on gameplay, Airsoft Cam Man and Kicking Mustang. So those will be up in the next couple of days, those videos. I have to say, and name's Nico. I just did that, or name's Nico. I just did that. He commented back on the video and was like, thank you so much for doing, or he said, I really enjoyed watching this. Thank you. It's given me some ideas for editing. I was like, that's awesome. Because those guys are big in Airsoft, and the weather in those videos was amazing. And I have to say, I say in one of these videos, like, I do miss the actual the environment there. There's so much greenery, there's so much trees and bushes, and like the variance in the seasons. I don't get that in Southern California, so I do miss that. I have to say I also now take the the California weather for granted. Like I don't wake up and I'm like, look at that outside. It's beautiful sunny day. But I do notice when I go back to the UK or if it's grey and gloomy here, I do start to feel more down. So I really do realize it. I think when I grew up in London, like it wasn't as obvious, but I picked to live here. Let's put it that way. I'm back in London quite a bit and I really want to play some airsoft in the UK because I haven't for 10, 15 years. Um, but I have to say, like, I put myself and my family in the US or in California, and weather is a big, big part of that for sure. Um, Question: have you thought of doing a side helmet mount? That way, you get a first-person perspective, and you can look behind you as well as captures the opposite side of yourself. I have Team Shadow, but like what I realized is if I put a side mount here, I don't get anything from the left. So it's almost like I can get back and forward, but I can't really get full from that side unless I'm going like above. And if I'm above, you're not getting FPV. So almost what I probably want is something around here, like the unicorn thing, where I can look behind my back, I can look forward, down, sideways, whatever it is. It's trying to find a mount, and I can take that mount. I just kicked the camera. I can take that mount and I can rotate it up more. So that probably helps a little bit, but still it's something in progress. I do actually have like this extendable arm, which some of you may have seen in one of the other videos, that will kind of like put it out in whatever direction I want. If I'm running, it can bounce a little bit. But I may go back to trying to work that out because if I can have something here, that's my ideal for a 360. That's kind of where I'm at with that. But if you have any recommendations, let me know. I know that guy that used to stream live airsoft gameplays on Twitch. He's still around, but unfortunately had to quit airsoft for medical reasons. So Prime Tech, I've actually thought about doing that. I think I actually put up a question on that. Was it in one of my like commentary videos I just filmed? But I've thought about doing it. I've live streamed 360 before from houses that I've gone and toured. And so people on my other like real estate accounts could basically tune in, go and like have a look at an amazing house and like scroll around. So I've thought about streaming 360 in while playing airsoft, but platforms supporting it is quite tough. But I thought, you know what could be quite cool is if I go and play somewhere, I have a camera on me that is streaming 360, and then you guys can basically just watch, entertain. The problem is I think there's so much break zone there. It's like, oh, the game ends, walking back to the safe zone, doing whatever. Do I stop the stream? Do I restart the stream? So I've thought about doing that because I thought actually it's pretty cool. I'd like to see someone do that. But let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see. George has priorities too. I know George sticks around in case there's food. If there's ever any chance of food, he's off. Thank God I'm not the only one who reviews my own footage, thinking God I suck, especially my footwork like a ballet dancer with a broken foot. Yeah, mate. I mean, like I definitely need to work more on my footwork. That's when I go and play CQB, like at the place I play Battle Lab. There's a lot more of that technical stuff. You know, like if I don't do that regularly and then I go and play at an outdoor field and there's indoor sections, I'm sloppy. Like I'm like, okay, well, I'm just moving in here. What am I doing? When I'm doing non-stop corridors, rooms, etc., like you definitely just get more like, okay, I need to be covering myself. I need to not be showing my shadows. I'm coming round. I'm keeping my like guns into myself, so I'm not exposing too much. A lot of that stuff, as well as I think I need to focus more on like, you know, cutting around corners, where my feet are going, what I'm doing there. But yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing with the 360. Again, you can kind of look at that. Already asked you in a separate comment, but what are your thoughts now on owning and reviewing a gas DMR like the HKM 110 gas blowback besides the larger and new set of mags? Jorg, I really want to get one. I have to say, like, there is a little bit of me that holds back, which is kind of like the performance at range being gas blowback is not going to be there like it will be on an HPA. And I've got a couple of HPA sniper rifles I've really not done much gameplay with. So I'd like to do one. And I have got the MTR 16, but obviously that's just running on MWS mags. But but that's kind of been my hold up. I do want to do some kind of M110, and I probably will end up doing it. It's just a matter of how long. I do have mag pouches that will take those magazines, but yeah, it's just like you're going to spend another $300, $400 to buy the magazines to get in there. And it's not even that as much. It's more like storing them all. Like I've got all my MWS mags, my VFC mags, I've got my MPSK mags, I've got my XM5 mags, I've got like all of these different magazines, and then trying to then like buy maybe like a box to keep that set of magazines in, and then where do I put this? And oh, I've forgotten where they've gone. Like it just adds up and adds up, and it's more if I can just find something that runs on the same magazines, like the Toxicant, not the actual XM5, but the regular ones run on the MWS mags. The Double Eagle ones run on those. The CGS one that I've just got runs on those. I kind of tend to go more in that direction. But I want to do one for sure. I think they're very, very cool. Local site is classified as ancient woodlands. They have all kinds of rules they have to follow. So Hobnob, does that mean you have to use bio BBs there, or that's okay? Prime Tech Nico, so chill to talk to and very informative when it comes to his gameplay. Yeah, I really like his videos. I have to say I find it quite strange, not strange, but it's quite funny to me that nearly all of his video titles have something about him being an ex-military, and I presume that does very well. Like people will click on it and watch it for that reason. I mean, you can tell he's a very talented guy in terms of his gameplay style and how he does it, but it does seem like every single title has that in there. But he wrote back on that video and was like, hey, thank you so much for doing this. And I think there's a lot of people who could have done the opposite and just said, please don't watch my videos and post them because it's just not cool. I do wonder about the Insta360, but I want to mount it so far out that it'll be a mess with my balance. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Is it's like GoPro is one angle, and you want it as close to first person view as possible. I have, if you've watched the 360 video, mounted it on the actual replica, and that is cool, but you just don't get the first person view footage. And if you mount a GoPro and that, then you're getting first person view footage, but you have a big camera stuck on the front of your replica. And I think it looks good with the scope cam, but with the 360, I'm not as kind of sure about it. Mini heat wave here at the moment in May. It'll snow in June. Yeah, probably, mate. It'll rain all June and July and August. That'll be probably pretty much a given. Thoughts on Mech Labs Nexus HPA engine? I'm sorry, Doug, I don't know Mech Labs Nexus HPA engine. I don't actually have many HPA specific replicas. I've got a lot of gas blowbacks that I'll put an HPA adapter on. I think I have maybe one. I've got two sniper rifles, which are pure HPA, and then I have one AUG, which is a custom build, which is HPA, and I don't like it. Other than that, so my like knowledge of HPA is like, oh, I know of Polar Star and I know of like different things. I never run them or do them. So for me, it's like the lack of recoil is a real issue. I've thought about getting different models, like what's the one that everyone loves? Why can't I think of it? Wolverine, a version of theirs, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it. And again, it's like if I lose that, look, I got an Allen key. Again, if I lose that recoil, then I think I'm just going to be like, oh, I don't want to use this. My cardio would absolutely not live up to an Airsoft live stream. Mate, I've been doing more cardio recently. I've actually been going for like runs in the morning, just trying to do like a 20-minute run, like 2 miles. I think I do 2 miles in about 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes, and it's just getting better and better. And I have to say, when I go and play Airsoft, it's almost like my Monday to Friday, I'll just get it done. Started with like just walking it, and I was like, right, I'll just run it. I have one little circuit that I'll do. And I think now when I finish it, I'm not short of breath. I sweat a lot. But when I go and play Airsoft, I notice a massive difference, because before it's like halfway through playing, I was like breathing heavily, like, oh, I need to take a break. Now I'm like, I'm good to go. So I think just almost having that like regular small bit of exercise can be really good, but I don't want to lecture anyone on that because I've been really bad on that as well. Maybe discuss it with him. I can link you guys to his IG, see if he wants to give you some tips. Yeah, 100%, mate. That'd be awesome, Prime. DJ, what is your opinion on non-imitation replicas? I'm not a big fan. I mean, the AAPO1 I'll use, and it's fun. I mean, it kind of is an imitation, but you kind of transform it into stuff that's not. I would always pick something which is a real imitation, an imitation of a real steel firearm. More because of the gameplay that I do, which is more that mil sim, like all my kit's real. I try and dress like a soldier would. I don't dress in Speedsoft gear ever. If I was more of a Speedsoft player, I can understand it, but I don't like weird colors. I don't like flashy anything. So yeah, I'm not a fan, DJ. No, we're okay for non-bio because scientifically bio BBs don't degrade that much faster than non-bio, really. But regularly inspectors, etc., check up on things. So I heard like bio BBs break down, but it's like 3 years. But non-bio BBs will not break down ever. So if that's wrong, let me know. Because that's what the impression that I was under. But I know they're not very popular. Being a vet does help us get some clicks, no lie. Yeah, I can imagine, mate. That's definitely people want to watch someone who knows what they're doing. They don't want to watch someone who's an amateur. First person airsoft, crazy. That is a proven fact about bio BBs, yet most outdoor fields are strict in using them. Really? That's so weird. Is it a good idea to use a dump pouch for gas blowback rifle AR mags, especially when playing on a CQB field, or are there better alternatives? Kath, Cody, Jeff, I'm a big fan of dump pouches. I will use dump pouches every time I play. I think gas blowback mags, you've got a very good point where dumping gas blowback expensive mags, where if you break the feed lips or you're too rough with them, they're going to break, is not as good to just be throwing into a dump pouch as an AEG mag is. I think I've talked about it in my loadout videos before, but like I have dump pouches from T-Rex arms that have like mesh in the bottom. So when I play and it's sandy, dusty, dirty, a lot of that falls out, because that I think would be my big issue, is like having that dirt clog up in the actual feed lips. When I dump in my dump pouch, I'm not just throwing, I am like placing it in and then going for my next one. I think there's a lot of gas blowback players who don't necessarily do that or want to do that. They may just want to like re-index into there, which I think is fine, because I think that, you're looking after your mag probably a lot better in doing that. For me, it's too slow. Like when I look at kind of performance of like how fast I can reload, and if I've only got 30 rounds in a mag, I want to be able to get that thing out and get another one in there ASAP. And so if I'm at home, that's probably more what I would train or play around doing, is how quick that I can reload, and just that muscle memory of like remove mag, dump out mag, pull mag, go. There's a lot of people as well who do the like draw the mag, like same hand, pull the mag out, re-index and reinsert. Technically that would be faster, I think, but then the whole I've got this mag, I'm one-handing the replica as I'm like putting that away, for me that just doesn't feel as natural. For me the most natural is going remove mag, grab mag, place mag, go. Like I like that more, but obviously I know that like real steel firearm experts or whatever say it's slower, so that's kind of cool. But I love dump pouches, so I'd always go with them, and I've gone through a lot of different ones working that out. Bought the XM5 yesterday through Octagon Airsoft. When you brought yours, did you go through any customs complications? I'm worried mine will get confiscated or sent back. I misread it. Are you in the UK or are you in the US? In the US, 100%. There could be an issue if you've had Octagon put the trade. Actually, it's got trades. Yeah, there could be an issue. I didn't have an issue, but obviously there are SIG trademarks that Toxicant have not paid for. So therefore, I have heard of situations where they've been sent back. If you bought it from Octagon and you're in the US right now, you could have a huge tariff fee. That's also one thing to think about, is Octagon are based in Hong Kong, and right now China are paying 140% tariff. So, or the US are on Chinese imports, I think. So just maybe think about that, because you could just get a huge bill for like $2,500 to get it into the country. Although I probably expect they would declare it as being far less money than actually, what it actually costs. So maybe that isn't the same case. Ever seen any Daytona builds in real life? No, mate, I have not. But to be honest, I'm not at the range as much as I should be or thought I would be. I need to spend more time at the range for sure. With my real steel stuff, I definitely like do airsoft a lot more than that. Considered to be correct, the difference between bio and non-bio is considered to be that large. Is not considered to be that large. Okay, that's really interesting, and that's kind of like sets me at ease a little bit, because I'm like, oh, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't use non-bios in that. When do you see a full tour of all your airsoft replicas? Curious about the variation. Second, okay, so I want to do it. It's just the fact of like it's a big commitment. Like I've got a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna have to go and get everything out and lay it out, and I'll probably try and do it in the next 2 weeks, just for you guys, because I've done the pistol one, I've done the SMG one, and so I need to do that. So I'll try and get it done as quick as I can, but probably in 2 weeks. Second question, what kind of real steel weapon should they make a gas blowback replica of it? I've kind of gone through that. I don't think there's anything where I'm like, I really, really want to see that. I'm sure as soon as I end this live stream, that's what I'm going to be like, okay, I should have done that. And I need to end this soon, guys, because we're coming up to an hour. So everyone's like, why are you making this so long? Bio BBs are weaker and very much worse for your gas blowback rifles. Yeah, so maybe I just need to stick to non-bios. In fact, I don't really buy bios anyway, but now you've put me off it. Terra BB is a company to keep your eye on. Bio BBs are composed with interesting material. Okay, I'll look at those as well, mate. As long as the mag doesn't stop into the feed lips, then I'm happy. Just to drop them on the floor. But if I was playing hard floor, then it would be a different story. Yeah, I try and keep away, I think, from dropping them on the floor, mate. I think, to be honest, it's like, okay, if it's a mag that I could just replace the feed lips with and it was pretty easy, that's fine. But generally, even AEG mags, I don't find myself throwing them on the floor that much. It's not really as much, I'm not doing that as much as I probably thought I would. Is the Tokimiri High Kappa 5.1 a good starter sidearm? Yes, 100%. It's a good starter sidearm. I think some people buy it as a primary. And if you're going to run an HPA, you're going to do that. Maybe that's what you want to do. I would always say buy an AEG, like an AEG AR platform kind of replica, just to have as your primary or your first ever airsoft gun. If you're looking for your first sidearm, Tokimori High Cap is probably one of the best things you could go for sure. Very consistent. Tons of upgrade parts, repair parts, etc. People love them, and there's a reason for that for sure. But Mrs. Badge, 6mm Badger, how do you stand for 6mm Badger? Does he get on your nerves with all your airsoft stuff? I can tell you, mate, because she's not here, but yes, it does get on her nerves. But I do consciously make an effort to keep all of that separate. I've also got 2 young boys, and I need to be a bit careful now they're growing up that they're not getting into that stuff and making a big, dangerous for one, but also not getting them into like, why are there a load of like guns lying around the house? So I definitely try and keep that separate. But she constantly makes comments. If there's something laying out on my desk, she's like, why is that not there? I'll keep my stuff in the office and I'll keep it in the garage. I won't have stuff lying around the living room, etc. I will try and pick airsoft days like once every 2 weeks probably, and be like, hey, do you mind if I go and play? Give her plenty of warning, because we've got 2 kids, so if I'm not here, she has to go and look after them or cover stuff. So that's what it is. A gas blowback rifle links. So there is one, I think, Doug. Who was it who just did one recently? There's one of the YouTubers who did a video on it, and I'm trying to think who it was. It's one of the big ones, and I'm having a complete mind blank. He literally has it in the video. Message me on Discord. I'll message you his name, or someone will put it up on here because you'll have seen that video. But do that. Darren, TMAK or VFCAK. I've never tried the VFCAK. I've heard great things. TMAK is incredible. Both the AKM and the AKX. So just from personal experience, I go with the TM. I don't like how the AKM doesn't have real wood, but I've put a real wood kit on it, and it literally feels like a real AK. If I could show it to you right now, I would go and get it, and I would pull it out and show you. But I would say TM is amazing. I've heard great things about the VFC, but TM is my choice there. Would love to see a new update and affordable gas blowback Galil. That would be cool as well. Replica for me would be a Benelli M4. Yeah, I actually would really like a Benelli M4, but because of the fact that you can get little shotgun shell holders that will go on a Benelli rail, and I really, really want to be able to just pull the actual things. I can 3D print them, which is how I came across this the other day. I really want to mount one of those, so that would be good. So that would be cool, yeah. Over and under would look cool. I completely get that. I have 2 young children. I'm in the process of teaching my 3-year-old safety of it and not having much. Yeah, they're at that age, I think, when they're 3 and older, where they can actually start to do damage to themselves with it. So that's where you need to be very, very careful. There's the 3D print one. Yeah. Last question, if you can, collabs. Yeah, I want to do some collaborations for sure. I was messaging with Jaeger Precision a bit, trying to do like maybe a build off with him or something like that. I'm really interested in collaborations. I have a lot of companies that reach out to me now. I've got a couple more sites coming. Lancer Tactical is sending me a couple of things. Stingray Airsoft are actually sending me an updated Claymore. They've changed it and updated it. I did get some footage of using it, but it was really dark, bad footage, and I don't want to give you guys like bad footage of that. So that will come soon, but they said, hey, can you hold off? And they're going to send me some extra ammo. I paid for it myself, but they're sending me extra ammo. So those kinds of collaborations with companies, yes. I've got another gun safe company that's reaching out, so there'll be another one of those for a member. AirTac have sent me stuff. Tap Airsoft have sent me stuff. I'd really like some of the big gas blowback manufacturers to send me stuff, like Double Eagle. I'd love them to. I'd love to have some of the Cymer CGS systems sent to me just to review and give away. But yeah, collaborations with anyone is always welcome here for sure. So if you know of anyone you want to send them my way, definitely do it. I've used both the VFC wins on recoil, but not by a whole lot, and they're both great platforms. Yeah, I've heard great things. Hobnob, like most people absolutely love it. Tomorrow with a famous airsoft YouTuber or influencer, who would that be? Well, you're the number one answer for that. Unfortunately, it's not possible. That'd be Ollie. If I could make a collaboration video with him, or could have made a collaboration with video with him, I would have absolutely loved that. Jaeger Precision, I love his content, so I'd probably do a collaboration with him as well. Um, it's probably my top two. It's probably, I don't know. There's a couple of like airsoft gameplay guys that I would like. Name's Nico. I'd love or Nico. I'd love to play with him. I'd love to play with um, Airsoft Cam Man as well. I think. I mean, there's quite a few, but there's nothing that's like sticks out of my head unless it was Ollie. Unfortunately, he's not around to do that with, but that definitely would be the number one there. Have you ever played Balahack Airsoft Field? I haven't, mate. I would love to. I've watched their Rev videos, and I'd love that. I'd love to do a collaboration with Swamp Sniper. There's a big one for you there. Um, 4 hour drive from where I live. Yeah, I would love to do it, but I have to fly and I have to pack all my airsoft gear and do that, and that's a lot of effort. Too much reputation for being mean to products for anyone to risk contacting me, Hobnob. Yeah, well, I don't know, mate. A mean opinion is also good. Any plans for the KJW KCO2? Yes. I've actually been looking at 3D printing a body for that, because that is a polymer body anyway. So after saying I'm not going to print a receiver, then that is one thing I have looked at doing. I also am going to paint it, and the sight on there, I actually just switched it to a primary arms 3x prism scope. So that I'm going to do a video on, and probably more of like a performance video of like, this is how it's shooting. I've changed out the inner barrel. I've changed the hop nub now and the hop up bucking, and it's really fun. Like, I have to say, that thing is like super, super fun, snappy, easy. So yes, I will have more of that to come. Anyways, let me just see if there's anything else. I've got loads more gameplay commentary videos coming, so if you guys like those, let me know. I actually just did that one before this, if you guys didn't get to check it out. It was more of the like Airsoft Rage clips one, which I know is a bit more clickbaity, but it's quite fun just to talk about how dumb people are. So if you like that, please do let me know. Put a comment on that video. Put a comment on all of the videos. That would be my number one ask, because it really does help the channel a lot. But yeah, let me know on that. But I've got maybe 4 more commentary videos coming in the next 4 days. So if you like those, I'm going to keep pumping them out, because they seem to be getting a good feedback. I'm going to do another AAPO1 build video. I'm doing an MP9 build video. I'll finish the KCO2 video. I've got products on the way. I've got the Lancer Tactical stuff, Gun Safe, Stingray Claymore. I've got some more lights coming. And then also I'm thinking about doing some 3D printing content. So I showed you guys this right here, if you guys weren't here. But I showed you this. I'm printing shoes right now, so it's not really airsoft relevant. But I am going to start printing some proper stuff for airsoft, and I'll probably do the like sped up print things, and then I'll just go into like installing them, testing them, showing you guys what it is. So if that's what you'd like to see more of as well, do let me know, because I think that might be a cool little thing to add into the channel. And if there's stuff that you want to see me review, you want to see me do, please always message me on the Discord or put it in the comments, and I'll try and get to that. I'll get on those for sure, because sometimes I do run out of ideas. It's kind of like, what should I shoot today? And there are tons of things I could shoot, but it doesn't pop into my head. So anytime you guys wanna give me ideas, please do let me know. Can't wait to see the build vid on it. And fellow bamboo enjoyer, yeah, mate, I absolutely love my 3D printer. Look at this other thing I printed just to sign off with this. I did this for my kid. I mean, it's amazing. Like, eyes pop out. It's got little magnets in there now. But this thing is like, the quality of it is unbelievable. This took probably about 12 hours to print, I think, maybe 15 hours to print. Those shoes are going for 2 days. But like, just knowing that I can do this, I don't know how that would withstand a BB. His favorite character is Spider-Man. And so I've got the back plate that I'm printing after this. So that'll basically go on my head. But as you can see, like, I think pretty damn cool, if you ask me. So I'm going to do a whole load more like that. But now I have a 3D printer. I'm going to print a ton of stuff for Airsoft. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for giving me your time. Like, I've been here for an hour and 10 minutes, and like, we've had between like 15, I think, and 25 people watching the entire time. So that's really, really awesome. Guys, have a great weekend. I will have another commentary video, maybe 2 tomorrow. So it'd be great to see in the premieres for that. I'm trying to do releases of videos for members early, so you guys can watch them like 12 to 24 hours before. So if you want to be a member, please do join. I'm going to do a giveaway next week. I've got lots of little bits and pieces to do, and then I've got the Lancer Tactical stuff coming next week as well, so I'll do that review, and then that will be giveaway for members as well. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for being part of the community, and yeah, have a great weekend. Goodbye.